sort of lost the line of trying to clear that proficiently, getting the centre hit into the ball, and it just lobbed into Soldier Girl's zone for a shot over the top. Very sneaky in the end.
Absolutely. Good pinch out from Wolf, but Blokes NRC was not on the right side for the cheat up, and Brudex Magics was. Perfect shot into the top right.
Yeah, this is just a standard 2v2 strategy. You get it to slowly crawl out, and you know, the ball's heading right, send your second player up there. There's some confidence right now starting for Soldier Girl and Brudex Magic.
Absolutely. Kickoffs are definitely, I guess, players much more focused on him in 2v2 rather than 3v3, and Magic's good old Brute himself has picked up a fourth already inside the first minute, only 53 seconds in, Baz.
A little concerned because I was thinking this matchup was going to be a lot closer between these two, and just seeing this in the first minute, I'm a little bit worried for what comes for the Rejects next.
Yeah, one might use the word disconcerted. It's, yeah, definitely awkward right now. With Brudex Magics and Soldier Girl, they are dominating. First minute is gone, 4 minutes to go. Soldier Girl might even pick up another, but doesn't have the boost, so Wolf will get back in time. Boost and ball from the corner. Soldier Girl picks it up, but that could go in. Oh, just close off the post. NRC did flip for it. I imagine he would have had the save if it was on target, Baza.
Interesting positions as this ball's cleared left side. And a little bit of a ping issue as well from one of the players, so hopefully they sort that one out. And Brudex Magic a chance on goal, sent wide. Soldier Girl, the angle that works perfectly, they put in their fifth.
Yeah, great stuff here from Soldier Girl. Rotating through that midfield, knows that Brudex Magics might have it, he misses. Soldier Girl's able to come forward, and perhaps Wolf, not seeing Soldier Girl coming forward, went to just go for the quick clear into the corner. Perhaps should have, you know, weaved a little bit more to the left to get ready for a block attempt, but not the case. Minute 30, 5-0.
Yeah, you have time as well in a defensive position to try and make a move, so try not to rush when you're clearing.
Absolutely. It was a good touch from NRC we just saw earlier on, but Soldier Girl was in a good enough position to get back in time to save. Wolf pops this one high. He's going to keep going for it, although he should have known that Soldier Girl was going to beat him to that. Soldier Girl touch towards backboard, get the pass out to Brudex Magics, but he knows that NRC is going to beat him to it, so plays a little bit more defensively. It's a good challenge in, but NRC out on top. Cleared out by Soldier Girl now. Going straight for a hook onto the midfield, sorry. Get that inside more towards Brute Magics, but no such luck on that. I do like the pass plays coming out from Climber Mount Cronobi though.
Well, I had a look at the Rejects plays as this one's just lobbed in front of goal, and Brudex Magic doing enough. Hold on. It went straight up, and it was just a beautiful chance for NRC to score. Wolf's going to try and bring this off the backboard. And Brudex Magic, Soldier Girl, they both push the ball out.
God, it hurts to see that, but NRC, two prime positions that arguably he should definitely have scored on, and he whiffed them both. And that means, you know, over halfway into the game now, and they're still down 5-0. A goal on the board would have certainly given them some hope, but imagine that's just made the whole game mentally a lot tougher for them.
What I can say, Rinkies, is they've stemmed the flow of goals. That was 4 in a minute at the start, and now they're having a good chance going forward here, the Rejects. So let's see if they can try and generate some score power.
Absolutely. So what we just saw there as well, when the ball stalemated up against the side wall, there must be a lack of communication between Wolf and NRC, because they both half flipped back into defense. They should definitely have left someone there to challenge the ball. Instead, they just left a loose ball in midfield and went back into defense. Luckily for them, it didn't result in a goal, though Brudex Magics was really close with a snipe down from above the top bar there. Not the case, however. NRC jumps forward a little bit too far, so Soldier Girl will pick up the possession. Hurling for this one, doesn't get a touch. Can keep pressure on Wolf though, not just going to get the boost. Get out of dodge, back in defense. Wolf well played off the backboard, needs a touch to the right side, but it's gone left instead. The recovery was not quite perfect as he flipped on that first touch on the ball. He'll pick up the midfield boost and just get out for now.
Yeah, they're getting really aggressive going forward, and when they rotate back, it's a little bit of an issue trying to defend as well. You can see a little bit more control coming out from Climbing Mount Cronobi, and I think they're going to hold this first game.
We'll see what happens. I do believe, yeah, Wolf still sitting around the 100, even a little bit more ping. So hopefully that's not too much of a factor for him, but I mean, 100 ping, I would imagine it is a factor. Brudex Magics is going to pick up a nice goal here. I'm not even sure you would call this, I believe, just a chip up and follow.
I just call it a carry, like up in the air. You're carrying the ball on the way.
Didn't get a
okay.
second touch. I think
thought it
was
was
he going
carry.
for a flip reset there?
No, I hope not.
He might have been. He might have been trying to go for a sneaky flip reset, even though it was definitely already going in. But
Yeah.
style points. That's something, Bozza.
That's fair enough. 44 seconds left, and Soldier Girl's got this forward. Brings off the backboard. We haven't seen the aggressive two-style play coming from Climbing Mount Cronovi. They do hold the one back defensive, so they're not allowing anything to be scored on them.
Yeah. And even though they've got the the one player sitting back defensively more often, it's surprising how much possession and how much of the field they're still commanding themselves with just one player in the forward half for most of the time. I mean, when it's getting to the point where they're confident that they're going to be able to make a pass play into a shot, that's when they're sending both forward. So yeah, definitely two very different play styles coming out here, and BritX Magic's and Soldier Girl showing that they're coming out on top with theirs. Just have to wait for it to touch the ground now. Could be a 0-second goal. No, Soldier Girl denies that, although it could be a goal on the opposite end.
No.
Gets the flip, it will go curb.
This is OC keepy
Wolf,
ups.
he keeps it up for it,
Oh.
and it is going to touch on the ground now. Climbing Mount Cronovi, they pick up game one, 6-0.
I like the abbreviation in game, Climbing Mount Crow.
Yeah.
That's really good. This is a really great start for them, Rankies. Four goals for Brute Magic and 2 for Soldier Girl. I'll tell you what, it's very good start. They dominated in that first minute, and that was crucial. The rejects, they can't let that happen in game 2.
Absolutely, although this is best of 5, so it's not that big of a deal, although game one
It's not that big
scoreline-
of a deal. Game 1's a good momentum start. You want to get the first game and do
Exactly.
it convincingly.
Yeah, and if it was more like a 1-0 or a 2-0, I don't know about 3. I think 3-0 is still a bit bad, but yeah, if you close it down to like 1 or 2 goals, it was a close first game, not that big of a deal.
Well, what's a 6-0 then, Rankies?
Exactly, it's a 6-0 here in game 1, so the rejects, it's just an even bigger mountain for them to climb by. So.
The good old Mount Cronovi, hey?
Yep.
Well, the rejects, Wolf and NRC, you're talking a little bit before communication between. You can see them both going forward and attacking him the backboard when they gave away a goal. And then when they both went back defensive, they didn't challenge anything coming out of the Climbing Mount Cronovi's defensive zones. So they need to work that communication out.
Absolutely, and obviously, you've got it, Bizer.
I got it.
Yeah. We don't have access to these teams' comms. It is just an online tournament, although next week will be the LAN where the top 4 teams do come
Can't
here.
wait to listen into the comms.
It'd
To
be awesome.
see him hit the desk.
It'd be awesome if we could tune into that. But obviously, as with most tournaments, you don't know what the players are going through, how much they're discussing.
Yeah.
But
And by the way, don't hit the desk if you're at the LAN.
No.
You don't want to ruin any of the PCs or anything. Okay, or it's just a little bit of an in-banter that the guys were having. We're going to get into the game, round 2, game 2.
Yep.
Let's see if the boys of the rejects can make something happen here.
As we were saying, it would appear that there's a lack of communication between the rejects. We'll see if the problem has been rectified moving forward. It's a good start, good aggressive early start here, Barca.
This one is played for Wolf, and he's perfectly hit this underneath the defence of the goalie, and we'll get the perspective in front of us. A nice little cross from NRC, and right down here, the angle worked well.
Good play. That was, the first touch was on target, and second, right underneath the car on the tyres, and then even just that third for the final touch. So good pinch in between the players.
We talked about a good start, didn't we, Rankies? And that's what they needed.
Oh no, Wolf put himself out of position there, but NRC sweeps back in time for that save. Gets a tiny bit of a touch over the top of Soldier Girl there, but that means BritX Magics will come through with possession. Missed the boost, but he's just trying to lift it over the top. Don't tell me he scores this. Oh my goodness. Get a look at the perspective on that, Bozza.
This is quite nice. The bouncing ball. Wolf doesn't challenge him early, and then he goes, I have to get there right now and stop this. But it was too late. BritX Magic over the top, and he gets a nice pinch in.
That's a touch and a half there, Bozza.
That's a clip-worthy moment, isn't it?
Very well played by Brute. Not the fanciest goal ever, but
it's still nice.
Certainly at this level of competition, we weren't expecting to see too many things, but it's just a goal fest, Bozza.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of goals being scored by Climbing Mount Cronovi, and this is 2 in consecutive seconds. Probably 5 seconds with that kickoff. Soldier Girl, definitely very confident today.
Absolutely. 2-1 It's, you know, the key difference here for the Rejects is they do have a goal on the board now, whereas last game they didn't get one. NRC, this could go over the top, but no, Soldier Girl is up in time, gets that save out. NRC was definitely looking for backboard, and Wolf was getting in position for it, so it would appear that communication is getting a little bit better. Nice flick up from Wolf, it drops down for NRC. This should have been cleared though.
Yeah, just a defensive mistakes going wrong, and generally this is what gives you the opposition really easy goals. NRC, the patience not to go up when he saw people flying in front of him. He knew he had to wait or turn around and play defensive, so it's actually a pretty good move.
Yeah, it was good stuff there from NRC just to stay grounded, just in case, because, you know, they already demonstrated earlier that they can half flip, although both of them shouldn't have done it at the same time.
You know what they say about Rocket League? Don't ever change your attack, especially if you're shooting on goal, to counter the defense. Play it as it would drop in the best situation. I think that's what NRC did.
Yep. This is going to be a goal though. Soldier Girl easy enough to find her way through the defense there and pick up a third to take back the lead. Climbing Mount Cronovi.
BrutX Magic, he's done it a couple times where he used that corner to his advantage and just beaten the player running out to it. So he's certainly got a little bit of speed in this game.
Absolutely. 3 minutes 20 remaining off the kickoff. Soldier Girl, good touch up in the air. Looks for that mid boost. I think she did get it. NRC finds it over the top of her. Magix goes for boost instead of the defensive play. Soldier Girl did rotate back in time, so we are going to see just a long goal here. That's awkward stuff for the Rejects.
We need to see more contested play coming for the Rejects as well.
Yeah, Wolf was just out of position.
They can't let an easy ball to go over the top. That's the second we've seen in the series so far, and it's crucial goals as well. They want to get themselves into this best of 5. They need to counter this game and get some momentum going.
Absolutely. Kick-off heavily in favour of Climbing Mount Cronovi here. Magix out of the corner. Doesn't get the mid boost. Jumps over the top of Wolf though. NRC will be beaten to the ball here by Soldier Girl. Gets a good bump on Wolf, and NRC's only just landed, although Magix perhaps not feeling too brave. I think he made the right call with going back. They're already 2 goals up, and Soldier Girl was still deep. So had he have messed up on his challenge, they could have reduced it to just a 1-goal lead. But just over half the game remaining, Magix will go a heavy backboard play here as Soldier Girl's on a rotation back in. It's another touch, Wolf. Corner boost and defensive possession here, but things are not looking that great for the Rejects. Still in the realms of possibility for them to bring this back in time though, Bozza.
I would have loved to see Wolf use the wall into his advantage here. NRC go forward, back your teammate in. Okay, your goal's down at this point. Yeah, you could play super defensive and wait for him to make a mistake, but I don't see Climbing Mount Cronovi doing that at the moment. And Wolf, double demo, stops any attack coming forward for this one. Seriously, back your teammate in and see if you can make a big play.
Absolutely, that double demo though didn't really open up too much for them because NRC, you know, he wasn't too close to the ball, and even if he was, it's right in their corner. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Grab possession and risk losing in the midfield again? It's not too many options here being created for the Rejects, and we'll see what happens moving forward, I guess. NRC, it was a good first touch, gets the boost. Wolf, it's an open net, but he doesn't clear on target. NRC can drop this down though, and he's whiffed. And we'll see Magix clear, although not on target, Buzzer, so a little bit sloppy here.
Well, it's always, they don't practice clearing from the defensive line to try and score on a goal, but in a game of 2s, it could certainly happen. An on-target ball certainly equals in goals. Here's a chance for NRC. He's going to look to try and use the backboard and BrutX Magic. I think this is the difference between the 2 teams. They're going out to make the ball instead of waiting for the play to be made.
Yeah. Oh, this could be it, yeah. NRC, I believe it was NRC, just wasn't going to be able to reach that in time. BrutX Magix has absolutely nailed this one for top right.
Yeah, good shot coming off the wall. Read that quite perfectly. In situations, that can be a miss as well, or a whiff. The ball could go anywhere, but that was spot on perfect. 1 minute and 2 remaining here, Yankees.
Wasn't quite top right, taking a look at the replay, but definitely was in on that right post. He has possession again, Magix. Ship and follow. Looking for a pinch off the backboard. Not the heaviest pinch. Also didn't go out to where Soldier Girl would have liked it either. Back in defense. Nice little touch. And Magix rotates in and beats NRC on the challenge with the 50-50. Looking for the right time, but the demo creeps up behind. And, you know, we could see that coming from a mile away, but poor old Magix.
This is a good little pass here. Unfortunate, it was cleared out.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and it will be 6-2. Wolf does almost make the save. That was very close, Buzzer.
Yeah, you could see this pass coming in as well, which got them unstuck, and then rotations open again. Look, they've got to make a play, Rankies, and unfortunately that ball just sent over the top and scored.
Yeah, look, 27 seconds. 4 goals required just to tie things up. It is looking grim here for the Rejects. And looking very, very likely that we'll be going into Game 3 series point here for Climb Mount Cronulla. Although, yeah, I don't think we're going to see a miracle here, but
No.
it's awkward. It just kind of feels like it's one of those games where you're just waiting for the 0-second mark. I mean, look at the amount of aggression that Climb Mount Cronulla still are maintaining on the field here. They're not exactly pressing for a 7th, but they're not allowing the Rejects any space in the offensive half, and that's just only going to affect them even more mentally moving into Game 3. And yeah, I would imagine that this is going to be a 3-0 coming up that we're going to see here, Barza.
Yeah, 2 games, total of 14 goals been scored, Rankies, and 12 of them are for Climbing Mount Cronulla. So, you know, didn't let a goal be scored on in Game 1. There's 2 scored on probably early game where we saw a little bit of momentum for the Rejects. I enjoyed seeing that, but they need to carry that through an entire 5-minute game, and I just don't think we're going to see that today.
Yeah, it's unlikely. You know, they've proven that they can score in this series, so maybe they can hang on to that as they move forward into Game 3. But it's not looking very likely for them at this stage. Climbing Mount Cronulla, though, of course, they can't just relax here because there's definitely room for them to start making mistakes and open up the net for the Rejects to be able to maybe edge back into the series. We'll see what happens.
When we looked at Climbing Mount Cronulla, they only had 2 games to play today, so this is one game that's crucial. If they can really open it up with a 3-0, it puts them in a good contention for top 4.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens as we are getting ready for kickoff of the next game. Rejects. What do we think they have to do? What's most important in them for this game to have a better chance?
They need to take control of this ball. They need to get themselves into a position where they don't let that ball go over the top and they have a defensive rotation in play. If that means less attacking opportunity, okay, fine, but at least make these shots accurate and on.
All right, to sum that up for you guys at home, if you're not big on Rocket League, the 2 key things I heard Barza pointing out there were positioning and just general communication and pass plays between the 2 could really help out as well.
I love how you had to decipher my technical game lingo.
Oh, you never know. There might be some people, out there that don't know the game very well. So
I suggest you get Steam and download it, or if you're a PlayStation, Xbox, buy Rocket League. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's get into this game. Number 3, it's potential here as it's match point for Climbing Mount Cronulla.
And we are going to see the first goal. Brunix Magic's 50 seconds that took. So the one thing we can go off here for the Rejects is at least it's taking longer for Climbing Mount Cronulla to pick up that first goal. And I just had a thought as well, Buzz, what you're saying is you highly recommend people to go out there, get on Steam and buy the game. I don't know if it's definitely going to happen. I've heard it has, though. I believe Rocket League will be going free to play in the future. So you may not even have to buy this game, guys. You might just be able to play the patient game and wait and get in.
I'm not happy with that.
Neither am I, but
I paid for this game. I don't want to have to. No, okay, fine, no worries. Plenty of people to play.
And if you live in Perth, end up getting the game. Hopefully, Createrra end up doing more of these and be able to compete in tournaments and. End up with a nice land for yourself, Barza, and it is looking pretty promising so far for Climbing Mount Cronulla. It's not as heavy of a start as we've seen in the first 2 games, but they still hold this 1-goal lead a minute and a half in, and it doesn't look like they're letting the Rejects out of their own defensive half much still.
Well, it's Wolf that will send this wide and follow it up with a 50-50. Ball sent over his head, but he did get the demo, so there's no follow-up here.
Oh, no.
NRC. Not sure he was watching the ball in that moment because it bounced so close and he just didn't turn. Now he's on it, sends it downfield. Brunix Magic clears to the side. Noticeably in the first game, 4 goals were scored in the first minute. Not so they got the 1. So real chance here, but in saying that, Wolf left in a real tricky position.
2-0 now. Brute. That's interesting how he's played that, Barza. Landed backwards, used his boost to match the pace of the ball, and then waited for the ball to be in the right position over the top of him, and cheeky little pop-up over on top on the backboard, continue the play, pick up a second goal. Very nice stuff there, Barza.
It takes a little bit of skill to be able to flip your car in the air like that and actually make a play on the ball and then follow it up nicely. So well, I said it the other way because I see that NRC comes in, puts the first goal in, and they're in this match.
Well, there's definitely a defensive make here made by BrutX Magics. He's oh, okay. I don't know why he went for boost there, Barza, but he did, and left the net completely open for NRC.
Well, some players are still used to a freeze meta where you're like, oh, the ball won't be there. Someone else will save it. I'll go for boost.
Yeah, maybe.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes. Let's shout out to a team playing under that name. I think that's Flukes and Smiths, right?
Flukes and Smiths.
Yeah.
I got to say, it's one of the best names I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, almost half of the game expired, and NRC down the field won't be able to beat Magics to it. Did get the midfield boost, goes for a bump on him, but doesn't quite catch him. And now Magics can get a pass out off the backboard to Soldier Girl. She is there, a little bit too slow though, and it goes way wide of the left post. NRC now the dribble down the field, challenged by BrutX Magics. Good recovery on the sidewall. Wants a little tap back down to Soldier Girl, but she's not really coming forward for it. BrutX Magics just stayed with it in the end. NRC towards net. Good save, although that was almost too slow for Soldier Girl.
Yeah, and look, they're taking some risks at the moment, but at this very point, climbing Mount Cronovi, they're not letting the defense come out, and that's why they're holding on to this lead right now.
Yeah, the Rejects have had a lot more offensive gameplay in this game compared to the last two, and you know we're getting ever closer to just the minute and a half mark remaining, and it's still just a 2-1 lead for Climber Mount Cronovi. Although Brute, chip up and follow, good air drag there, won't find it past NRC, although does get the bump on him. Buzz into the back of the net as Soldier Girl recovers with the ball now. Good second touch off the back of Wolf, but it drops down nicely for NRC. So I think the Rechecks are still in a good position to be able to bring this one back and take out a win here. We'll see what happens.
Some good challenges and aerial play defense. Is something we haven't seen all 2 games for the Rejects, so now they're starting to put that into play. They're looking confident in this game. They just need to find this goal.
Oh no, Wolf, it's an open net. NRC will recover in time to rectify the error there, but this was very close. Definitely a tough angle for Wolf, so I'm not going to blame him too much, but that almost ruined their chances there, Barza.
Yeah, the speed from Wolf, he had to turn, and so therefore couldn't really generate much power on the ball when he hit it central with the angle, and relied on his teammate NRC to charge at the ball for a goal. Hey, they're in this, it's drawn, and it's a minute remaining. It's going to come down the wire, but as I say that, it's always one of these. You get a tied game and someone gets a goal really early.
Not the fanciest goal, but certainly nicely angled from Soldier Girl there off the 2 front tyres of the Octane. Well timed as well. Minute and 1 second remains to jump into what could be the last kickoff of this game, but it does appear that Climber Mount Cronovi are wanting to get a little bit more aggressive. They don't want to sit on this 1-goal lead. A 2-goal lead would definitely be more comfortable for them, although inside this last minute they are risking.
Just wait for the backboard.
Wolf.
Thank you, Wolf.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a heart attack for a moment because he was charging to try and get a fancy goal off the backboard. I said, no, just wait for it. This is the best place to wait for any ball that comes off the backboard. Wolf, clever. They're certainly starting to show some form.
As long as Wolf knew that there was no hope for either Soldier Girl or BrutX Magics to get back in time, that is the right decision to make, and I believe that he was aware of the positioning. Poor old BrutX Magics, who was the last defender back for that, just went high-flying and completely missed. He will not pick up a goal. Good save from NRC at the last second. Comes off that post, and we're heading down into the final 30 seconds with this game tied up. Chance we might see the first overtime for the day in the first series, which would be nice, Barza.
Both of these teams certainly worked hard for it, so certainly be very nice. The Rejects, they wouldn't want to let it go to overtime though. They want to get this goal.
Absolutely. Soldier Girl looked like she wanted to keep it close to her, just retain possession there. But this is awkward. She let it get away from her, and now Wolf with the dribble, challenged, and a timely tackle there from BrutX Magics. It is looking like overtime is the decision they want to make, although Soldier Girl at the last second scoops it towards the curb. Temporarily keeps it up, but the demo from Wolf and the loose ball downfield means it does touch the ground, and overtime it is, Barza.
Yep, the first one of the game today, and I tell you what, the Rejects have deserved it at this point. They would love to finish this game off.
Absolutely. They went 6-0 in game 1 and then 6-2 in Game 2. It would definitely be a bit of a surprise to me to see 4-1 in favour of the Rejects here. Although it would be nice because, you know, the closer the series is, you know, it's more enjoyable, more entertaining to watch, guys. You don't want to see whitewashes.
And then not to mention it will affect the running ladder with tiebreakers as well. Brudex Magic over the top.
Lovely.
Says, how you going? I'll show you how it's done.
This is the first one that he's pulled off to
lovely.
a T, Bizer. To a T. He's had a few that have been close in this series, but that one right at the end there was just the icing on the cake for him. Not perfectly top right, but pretty close to it, and what a way to end the series for them. 3-0 in the end, Bizer, although Game 3 much closer than Game 1 and 2.
Yep, and that's got them over the line. It gives them an extra game for them to move in to the next day. They only have one more left to play, climbing Mount Cronovi.
Yep.
On the other hand, the Rejects, they've got 2 more rounds. These teams, they only can afford to lose one game, and really, the Rejects, those first 2 games, they've got to really think about how they're going to execute in the next 2 rounds.
Absolutely. So that's, you know, it's definitely given them something to think about. Climbing Mount Cronovi, they'll be pretty happy with this. 3-0 in their first series. And look, I mean, obviously the second series would be nice to win. It is, you know, the results are going to depend on other games as well, but they're definitely in a much more comfortable position.
A really good start. Like we said, 6-0, 6-2, and then in the end it was a 4-3.
Yep.
Yes.
In overtime.
In overtime. It's a really solid start from climbing Mount Cronovi, and it gives them a real chance. You know, we're looking at it and seeing that no balls today would have the potential to make 4. In fact, we probably predicted that, but the way climbing Mount Cronovi went in those first 2 games, if they can replicate that in their last match today, they have a real chance of making top 4.
Absolutely. So, I don't think there's too much else to talk about that series, Bizer. Let's throw it to a break.
Do you have an MVP?
Sorry?
Do you have an MVP for me?
Oh, from that game?
Yep.
Well, you know, if you asked me last week, I would have said Soldier Girl, but this week I'm going with Brudex Magic. I mean, last week he definitely had something there you could see, but it didn't feel like he was quite on form. This week he's just, I mean, not all of the right touches, but certainly a lot more than last week. And yeah, he played his heart out. So I'm going to go with Brudex Magics for that one.
We're going to wrap it up and take a 5 to 10 minute break, guys. Go get a soda or something to eat, and we'll see you right
grab
up.
a water.
We'll see you right after this with the next match. Terra Runner Gamers taking on Yikes.
Terraria, Bizer.
Oi, bro, Matt, how was that?
Pretty good it is.
Okay, you know what, Yoda? I'm sorry, you've got to go, man.